Did you know that HiBoost isn't the only cell phone signal booster out there? HiBoost has a nearly identical option. Today we're gonna get it put into the Super Ute, get it all mounted in. Later down the road, we're gonna be doing some testing after I get a chance to use it and really shake things out. Let's get it put in. This is the HiBoost Travel Truck Cell Phone Booster 3.0. Inside the box, you have a user manual, the control module, power supply, antenna mast, mounting options, cable for the mast, interior antenna, some zip ties, Velcro straps, mast bracket. Step one is gonna be mounting the antenna, and I like to work antenna down to the actual module itself. You've only got a finite amount of cable to get there, so that will kind of dictate where the module goes in the truck, but the antenna can only go in one spot on the Lightner rack on the Super Ute because everything else is module. It can come off, and I don't want anything to be mounted to it that can't easily come undone, which I need this on all the time. The bracket to mount the antenna is gonna be a bit of an issue. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of engineering to get this to work. This is for a truck model. They don't have an overland model yet, but they're coming out with one. But this is made for like a semi to put on a window, so it's got big old clamps for it. We can't really use that. It has to go into extrusion. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut this off here and tap 2 holes into it. And then you can see the mast just basically inserts into there, and that will give me a nice solid mounting point up on the Lightner rack. I got the bracket cut down, 3 holes are put in for this 1/4-20 hardware and T-nut. I'll have this in the link below, and I gave it a little spray of black to make it look nice and pretty. I pre-installed the flexible base to the bracket as well as the 1/4-20 bolts, lock washers, and T-nuts. Take the bracket, insert it into the L-track or T-track of the Lightner rack here. I like using the electric ratchet, just makes it a little bit quicker and easier. I'm just gonna tighten everything down. Nice and solid. The kit comes with 2 sections of this mast extender. I'm only gonna use one. I don't want this thing crazy high off the truck. All you're gonna do is take the business end of the antenna cable here and push it through the, uncap it first, then push it through the end, and then screw the 2 pieces together. This is the bottom part of the cable mast. You can see there's a big cutout. This is where the cable is actually gonna exit from. Insert it in, make sure the cable comes out, push it all the way down to the base, and then screw it on. Make sure everything's nice and snug. You might want to use a little blue Loctite on this just to make sure it doesn't come undone. Then this end screws into the wobble base up there. You've got your long extension cable here for the mast. All we're gonna do is uncap the protective cover and screw it on. The tricky part that took me a hot minute to figure out was how to get this cable into the cab. In the Tacoma, I go through the drain plugs in the floor just because it's rubber, it's insulated, and I can silicone it after the fact, and it's really good, easy access into the cab. However, the Ford Super Duty doesn't have that, so luckily they have ventilation between the cab and the bed, which I have removed. So there's basically, when you close the doors, the negative pressure, so it doesn't blow the windows out, it presses all the pressure out of the cab through these vents in the back. And it's really easy to actually get things inside of there because it's basically just a one-way flap. Now that I have my access point, all I have to do is go into the cab, put the back seat down, and cut a hole in the carpet to be able to put this wire through. Now all I have to do is clamp this end into the 3 prongs of my little tool here and pull it right through. Now I have the antenna cable into the cab. All I have to do is route it under the trim of the back passenger door here, under here. And I'm actually gonna put the entire module under the front passenger seat just to make it easier to access. Plus I have a cigarette lighter on the back of the center console, which is gonna make just powering it very easy. Just kind of a no-brainer setup for now. I can always hardwire it in later, but for now I'm just gonna go with that. A little bit of a plan change. What I'm gonna do is hook up the antenna into the HiBoost and then have it nice and tight here in the cab. That way I can have a loop outside in case I want to extend that antenna up more, I can. Just gives me more options. On the HiBoost, you have 2 inputs for antenna. One is outdoor and one is indoor. We are using the outdoor because this is the outside antenna. The inside antenna has yet to be done. So just uncap that and screw it in. The kit also comes with some strips of Velcro. I'm gonna take the hook side, the rough side, and put it onto this, and then that way it will attach directly to the carpet under the seat. HiBoost also took the time to put these really nice rubber caps on everything, so that way there's no rubbing sitting under the seat. To make future me not angry at me, I'm actually, before I mount it up under the seat where it's really hard to reach, I'm going to attach the indoor antenna as well as the power supply. Just going to move my Husky floor mat out of the way. Position this in the corner. Now I'm just going to tuck the exterior antenna along the bottom trim of the door sill here all the way to the back of the cab. All I have are two things left, the interior antenna as well as the power supply. Power supply is super easy. It's basically just getting plugged into the center console in the very back here, and it's just going to get routed up under the Husky floor liner. The interior antenna, I'm going to route along this B-pillar trim all the way to the very top and then Velcro it to the side. That way it has lots of range inside the interior of the truck. The HiBoost is completely installed and it looks really good. All I did was a little bit of cable management and just tucked all of the trim back in its place. And with the Husky liner in place, the thing just completely disappears, looks very factory, minus the power cable into that rear cigarette plug. But that's just the way it's gonna be until I decide if I'm gonna hard mount it or leave it how it is, because it's pretty convenient. Like I said, this is a straight install. There's gonna be no testing involved. I'll be doing a future video pitting a couple of these guys against each other. You know who I'm talking about. I hope you guys like this video. If you have any questions, comment below. I'd like to know if this was helpful or if there's anything that I skipped. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.